so much water in those fruits. It's so good. Greetings, loves. Hit the like, share, leave your thoughts. Welcome back. Came back from the back, from the back. You were in the previous live. Welcome back. It's your first time. Welcome. Subscribe. Hit the like. And nothing like fruit when it's hot. Fruit for the water. Man, we gotta keep it real about Carmelo Anthony's parents. It's nothing. I can't find it in me to get him a pass on messing with Charleston. I can't. The more I sit back and I think about it, I think about all the rumors and, you know, stuff people were trying to say about them. I think about the things that just don't add up. Right. It's going pretty good. How's yours? I'm eating some cheap but expensive fruit. Very juicy. I'm thinking about things that just don't make no sense. Like, how could you be that naive as black people living here? I mean, there's a lot of things we can accredit it to nowadays. You know, you could just be a shucking and driving old Negro who think Massa's ice is cold. That could be some or all of it. But, you know, they do so much to, like, void out the truths, void out the past. They do so much to try and pull the veil over the new generation's eyes to where they don't realize just how things really are. How things were, the things that actually happened, and how things really are when it comes to us and others. So these generations, even in your 30s and 40s, it's easier for them to have rose-colored glasses. And I'm thinking, if I just do this, live like this, get on this level, live in this neighborhood, blah, 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 keep my nose clean and everything, you know, folks gonna see God in me. And treat me like something in any given situation. When folks refuse to educate themselves on their people and their people's history, they end up like Carmelo's parents. Walking around looking at shit and not knowing, even understanding what really is. And it's very dangerous to not really know what it is. Because you end up in a situation like that, still not understanding what's going on. By the time you catch on, boom, your son got 35 years, nigga. And it could be a whole lot worse, of course. Our people can't afford that shit. You're not going to sit up here and tell me. That's just one thing I cannot get past. When I listen to everything, them linking up with Charleston, especially from the beginning, he said he was there as of day 5. Okay. He said they reached out to him. Even decided to pay him. How can you be so naive about what is when it comes to the people in the system? But whatever you saw about Charleston made you think linking up with him and letting him be your main advisor and director throughout this entire process was a good idea? Shout out to Karmelo, but those are your parents and he is their seed. A rotten fruit comes from rotten trees. At the end of the day, you're not going to explain to me how you managed to link up with Charleston White when your son was just arrested for not only stabbing at a school, but actually taking the life of a white boy in Texas, Collin County, Texas. And you looked around high and low and said, Charleston White. He gonna get us there. Yep, that's the one. That don't work for me. It don't. Any, many, miny, mo. You could have, child. Nothing against nobody, right? You could have picked Tariq Nasheed. You could have picked Umar. Now, that's definitely not a compliment to Umar. But then again, Umar is a huge scammer of his people. A long-term scammer of his people. But one thing he gonna do that he does seem to do very well is this. And when it comes to certain strategies involving schools, boys, whatever, he seems to have some kind of plans. You also don't have epilepsies and whatever. Umar could have got up in that shit, dissected it, and gave you all kind of different routes to try to take. Or even linked you up with better attorneys. It's not that I'm suggesting Umar should have been a choice. My point is, that shit would have made more sense than Charleston White. Umar got just as much clout and publicity as Charleston White. And he trying to build a school for black boys. One thing he's known for is giving solutions for black boys, especially when it comes to school and shit like that. And the school to prison pipeline. Shit like that. I'm just saying, who's being platformed and sticking out here? Charleston White is, Umar is. What makes more sense in this situation? Fuck Umar. But you went with Charleston White. The one who don't like niggas. And talk all kind of shit about how dirty he would do niggas. Do niggas dirty and laugh about it on the internet for years. Charleston, that Charleston White said he told them he was gonna get them on, say, cheese. First of all, he said he hired the daddy to be his role manager. Carmelo, daddy, can you bring your ass to the front and tell us what the fuck was you doing as Charleston White's role manager this whole time? What did that consist of? And what parts of what he's saying is true or not? Because, you know, we want to know, because we know this nigga lied. Was he paying y'all bills? And he was your pimp? I mean, like, what was he? He was y'all new daddy? Like, what was Charleston White? He had your son, G, paying the bill on that and paying the bill on what else? Like, so basically he was owning your ass. So when he say, I'm gonna put you on, say, cheese, I'm gonna put you on VLAD, all these hood booger bullshit ass platforms that ain't gonna help your son, not one bit, that y'all ain't got no bit. What you got in relation to, why would you be on Vlad TV? Vlad ain't gonna do nothing but ask you all the wrong questions to help your son. Vlad is gonna ask you all the FBI questions. What kind of respect was you gonna get when you come off of say cheese? Who else he had lined up for you? Antoine Daniels. How is that gonna pan out? He hate niggas too. Dan's project. No respectable person goes to any of those, in my opinion. Nobody's gonna take you seriously on there. Nobody. So basically, y'all fell out when your son got 35 years, and then you decided you weren't gonna do all that press tour. Or Charleston White was just gonna pimp you, get his cut, and I guess that'd be your payback for him paying y'all bills. Fuck you, my parents dead. Get off my page. Shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck about your opinion. You don't agree with anything I'm saying? Keep on walking. You could just go. Walk on. Keep on. CC Peniston, baby. Look it up. Keep on walking. I think it's definitely some shit with y'all. I gave as much of the benefit of the doubt in the past because I ain't never been, been in that situation. Especially coming from this uppity Negro we're special. I love me some OJ, and he didn't fucking do it. But OJ, as in the Jay-Z song OJ perspective. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. But you're not gonna explain to me, and you sure can't explain to your son how you could have thought that Church's Negro was the best thing for y'all to do. No wonder why the shit, because it don't make no sense. Charleston trying to throw Dominique under the bus. Dominique slick to me. I ain't seen him since. I watched that main interview he did after the trial. He came out on his page. He did an interview with some platform. Same time. And he pretty much told his position, what he does and what he doesn't do. Right? So if he's been talking since then, I haven't seen him. But it kind of low-key, I think it's some more in-house tension than they're letting us know about. Which, honestly, is to be expected. But at the same time, Dominique's real position is still kind of unclear. And I think I gave him too much of a benefit of the doubt after listening to him. And maybe he's not being exactly truthful. Just maybe. But one thing I can say is, the one thing that never made any sense to me, although I'm not hung up on what he did in the past per se, because unless somebody told me, I wouldn't even know about that. I'm just looking at what he's seemingly doing for this case. Now, I don't necessarily look at him the way y'all looking at him. Y'all are like he was the worst thing. Nah, I like how he was right there holding it down for Karmelo. I don't know nothing about what him and the parents and all that other shit. I analyze that separately. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about that man, but he showed up and he was there. I'm going to say that again. He showed up and he was there. And one thing you cannot and will not take away from him is when he walked Karmelo out of that fucking jail. Everybody running their mouth, you really don't know because you're not in it. And your ass show wasn't there escorting that young man out of fucking prison that day. Dominique was. And they did that shit like it's supposed to be done. And y'all doing some old Negro shit because you want to demolish and do. And most of them got some crazy shit in your past. Whether you went to jail for it or not, you can just some fuck shit. All of us have. You don't lie to me. For whatever reason. And we don't. I don't know what they said in the records. I mean, I heard an account of it. Okay. That's his separate business on some separate shit. I'm looking at him right here in this important moment. And he was there. Whether you felt like, oh, he shouldn't have did this, he shouldn't have said that. I don't disagree with him kicking the daddy out. Y'all slow if that's how you looking at it. You believe Charleston? You believe that line ass Jeff? You believe he came there for a prayer? Where he was fucking with the daddy the whole time? All up in their shit, going to his job, harassing him? Going up there doing his best to try to stop Karmelo from getting a fucking diploma and shit? He waged war on them from day one. That nigga ain't showed to pray. Y'all get the fuck out of here. I don't know what the deal is with him. I just know what he told us. I'm inclined to believe what he said. You can't take the image of him and his team taking that young man his prom suit. I knew he was shot that day, but that explains it. That was his prom suit. So he don't walk out in no... And timing his departure to be for his best interest. And making sure he walked